My first impression of Davis Hall was that it was a venerable building. Not as old as some on the quad, but it had its own character. It is a 1950s vintage style and made with surplus items from before World War II.
The things that I remember mostly, the drafting room was a whole lot different. We did a lot of photography. There was no computer-aided drafting. Shops down here were basically the same. They really were. Obviously we have some CNC equipment now, but the machines are still the same. They were way back in 1984.
I could redo 100 more houses, but I think they'd forget about once I got to the fifth one, they'd forget about it. But when you look at students and being a teacher, especially in an environment like this, in this old building, even the new building, it really doesn't matter. Just being a teacher, what's the biggest way to make a ripple in the pond? And it's, you teach a bunch of students to go out and redo houses, and then you've redone 1,000 houses, not just 100.
Probably some of my favorite memories of Davis Hall happen to be in the loft area where we were either playing a prank on somebody or hiding from a specific professor or just causing ruckus when we shouldn't have been causing any ruckus. From that point until now, I have currently been in Davis Hall teaching for 4 years.
Some of my favorite memories in Davis Hall would be doing the annual Toys for Tots. I remember doing that as a student, where every December we'd come together and build the toys for the kids, and just remember, great memories in terms of working with the faculty and the community members on those projects. Other great memories that I have as a student, sitting in the various classes, getting to know the other students in the department, getting to know the faculty, and just the interaction, the great culture that we have in our program, where we get to know each other, we hang out, we have fun, and get a lot of work done.
Probably my favorite memory of Davis Hall happened 2 or 3 years after I first came here, and Dr. Ruda was down here talking to me about something. And at that time in our windows, we didn't have the big clear windows. We had shorter windows that were almost frosted. They were patterned when really thick, heavy glass, and you really couldn't see out of it. And so I was talking to Dr. Ruda, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, we heard a crash, and it's like, what in the world? And I could tell that it came back from the back part of the shop. So I went back there, and a pheasant had flown across campus from somewhere and crashed through one of the windows back there in the back. And so here's this dead pheasant laying on the floor, and Dr. Ruda and I were discussing, well, should I do something with this, or do I take it home and eat it, or what? Well, we decided I should take it over to the Parks and Recreation office over there, and they thought that was a good deal too, that I did that.
We used to have an old chuck wagon that we would cook hamburgers and baked beans, and we would have get-togethers, for students, kind of like the TECA group, but it was an industrial arts club at the time. And we would roll that chuck wagon out, and we would fire it up, and we would have smoke going across this campus, and we'd be bringing people from across campus, to participate in our hamburger feeds, when we had those in the evenings, with the chuck wagon. And that was really some of the talk of the campus when we'd fire that thing up. So I think the camaraderie that chuck wagon brought, with the students and the faculty at that time, really was some of the best memories that I've had in Davis Hall.